And now, it's the various Vortices of Zylan Roberts, a bi-weekly podcast that's every 2 weeks, in case you didn't know, in which I use a combination of comedy, drama, music, discussion, and surreal storytelling to talk about conscious subjects such as conspiracy theory, politics, spirituality, philosophy, and more. Yeah! On tonight's episode, I weave a new story called the Chemtrail Caper Concerto for Haarp in Hocaine. It's a dystopian short story centered around weather weapons, corrupt cops, parasitic CIA-controlled hard drugs, and other things. Featuring detectives Mook and Jameson from the DSI Agenda 2030 video, Professor Pussycat Bitch, and many more characters. And in the midst of the story, I showcase an old song about chemtrails and such from my 2012 album, Jump Into the Portals, Somewhere Through the Fog. There will be no discussion part of the podcast. Maybe next time. And now, without further ado, I present to you the Chemtrail Caper Concerto for Haarp and Hocaine. The year is now 2031. A lot has happened between 2030 and 2031. Little over a year ago, Hocaine was the government's greatest evil creation. A heroin-cocaine combo that was twice as deadly and addictive, and made a lot of money for the Rothschild Corporation. But the overhead of making it cost them too much money. So the Rothschilds hatched an ingenious plan. Get Congress to outlaw the drug, thus leaving the multi-millions of its addicted users vulnerable to swift punishment and incarceration, where they could get inner prison jobs, manufacturing the drugs in secret prison industrial Hocaine factories for $2 a day, far under the legal minimum wage requirements that could be bypassed because of their prison status. After the Hocaine was manufactured, it was distributed covertly on the black market thanks to the state's good old butt buddies, the CIA. Of course, the DEA would continue to not incriminate the CIA whatsoever in its distribution, instead blaming whom they had since at least the 80s, the Mexican drug cartels, who, at best, were just the CIA's muscle in the hard drug business. The CIA were always the brains since the beginning. So, prisoners working for the prison industrial complex made the drug. The CIA and the cartels distributed it. The addicts got busted and became prisoner workers. And so on an endless Ouroboros of addiction and slavery. No prison employee was allowed to talk about the secret manufacturing of the illegal drug, punishable by death or more severe prison sentencing. Meanwhile, outside of prison, the police force, much like the FBI, military-industrial complex, and pretty much anything else the government touched, was still corrupt as shit. Detective Mook, with the New York Police Department, is hopelessly addicted to Hocaine, and will do anything and screw over anyone to get it. Let's watch.
What are you doing down here in the evidence locker, Mook?
What does it look like I'm doing? I'm withdrawing really hard on H. I'm looking around for something to hold me over, Jameson. Where's that bag of dope we seized from those scumbags the other night?
You mean the ones we shot and killed, then seized their drugs as evidence? I still don't know why you shot them, Mook. They were cooperating with us until they started saying that crazy shit about how their suppliers were some guys who worked for the CIA. Then, when my back was turned, you blew both of their heads off. You said they started vomiting knives out of their mouths and that's why you did it? I didn't see anything like that, but I'll take your word for it, Mook.
That's right, Jameson, and it's the truth. And if you ever question my methods again, I'll have you downgraded to scrubbing period blood off the women's toilets. Is that understood?
Yes, Mook. Perfectly.
Alright, good. Now help me find that dope. I want to get all fucked before my meeting with the head of the CIA about that latest shipment of Hocaine. before I go undercover to bust that dirty Mexican drug cartel, bringing in Hocaine and tainting our children's minds and bodies with their mariachi hats and dirty Sanchez's and all that.
I know what you mean, Mook. Those Mexican drug cartels are 100% behind the trafficking of hard drugs. They and they alone. The CIA has no involvement whatsoever. Jameson and Mook look at the camera knowingly.
Anyway, what was it that you wanted to tell me earlier, Jameson?
Oh yeah, guess what, Mook? Those fucking tinfoil hat wearing conspiracy theorists are down in Chinatown again, protesting the chemtrail planes in the sky and talking about how the government is using weather weapons to cause all these storms out there in California again. Psh.
Those fucking scumbags. When will they learn? Let's teach them a lesson. Get all available units out on 14th Street in Columbia. We will take care of them like we took care of the Yellow Vests back in 2019.
Have a couple undercovers pose as protesters, cause a violent ruckus, thus allowing the riot cops free license to start busting all the protesters' skulls.
Exactly, Jameson. And since today seems to be my lucky day...
Mook finds a bag of Hocaine and snorts a few big lines.
Ah, shit. That's the stuff. Anyway, I'll be feeling pretty good here in a few minutes. Got that demon dragon energy in me. Ha! Hi! Let's be the undercovers, you and I, Jameson. And then once the shit starts, we will turn off our projection suits and join the clobbering. How's that sound, Jameson?
Just like the old days, Mook. Just like the old days.
You said it, buddy. Let's go!
Detectives Mook and Jameson arrive on the scene. The streets are filled with restless, but otherwise peaceful, protesters. Jameson walks up to one of the main riot cops headlining the infantry. Hey, bud. So what's the situation so far?
I don't know, Detective Jameson, sir. The protesters keep going on about chemtrails in the sky, or weather wampums, or weather whippings, or
Jameson stops him. Weather weapons?
Yeah, maybe, sir. None of it makes any sense to me, sir. Me just wanna start clobbering, sir. Me wanna bash protesters' skull in. Police good, protester bad man.
Okay, buddy. Well, you'll get your chance soon. Mook walks up to the dumb cop.
Hey, Porky, want a donut?
Oh, yes, sir. Me want donut. Donut's good.
Okay, Porky, catch!
The dumb cop drops to all fours and runs after the donut as it lands in a pool of toxic sewage water. Despite the obvious grossness, the cop eats the donut anyway.
God damn, these police dog human hybrids are fucking disgusting. Not to mention dumb as all shit. But they are very loyal though. I once saw one of the NYC DEA division's dog men get the scent of a meth head stash in his balls. He proceeded to rip the fucking guy's testicles right out of his body. I mean, he went totally Lorena Bobbitt on him like a goddamn psychopath. The meth head's intestines fell out, and the dog man started slurping them up like they were spaghetti or something. Clinically retarded, but they do what they're told at least.
Yeah, that's cool, Mook. Is it true the hybridization techniques they use to fuse the dog and man together derives from a black magic ritual? Mook takes a shot of whiskey from his flask and hacks out a cough from his emphysema-corroded lungs.
The less you know about all that, the better, Jameson. Come on, let's suit up.
Mook walks over to one of the other riot cops. This one has a high-tech looking headset over his eyes, sort of like Geordi LaForge from Star Trek.
Hey you, Mr.
Jarhead, sir! Jarvis Jarhead!
Who the fuck named this dumb shit? Mike Tyson?
Mook thought to himself.
Yeah, Jarhead, whatever. Are your hallucination stations functioning properly today?
Sir, yes, sir! All hallucination stations functioning perfectly, sir! The tech guys did a diagnostic on all of our suits today, and all of the tech are functioning at 100%, sir! Jarhead screamed.
Okay, good, great. Well, here's the layout. Make sure you tell the other cops, okay? Jameson and I are gonna suit up as protesters, go cause a ruckus, and then I'll give the signal to come in and start busting skulls, okay? The signal will be,
Mook looks over to another cop who is surfing the internet on his eyeball implants.
Haha, this cat gif is fucking hilarious.
He nudges the cop beside him.
Hey, Bruce, check out this wicked cat gif, man. Hold on, I'll send it over.
The cop thinks with his mind. Send Bruce cat GIF 0.0003458. The computerized voice talks in his earbuds. Sending over cat GIF 0.0003458 to Bruce Davison. Bruce Davison received an alert on his earbuds. Cat GIF 0.0003458 has been received. This hilarious cat GIF has been brought to you by the Fear Network. Don't forget to check out the new episode of Frasier and Friends, tonight at 8 o'clock, with special guest Dick Clark, who, through daily blood transfusions from missing children, has managed to stay alive and young-looking all these years.
Haha, this fucking cat gif is fucking hilarious, bro. Thanks for that,
Davison says.
Okay, the secret signal will be cat GIF. Got it, Jarhead?
Mook tells him.
Sir, yes, sir. The secret code will be cat gif. Sir, yes, sir.
Jarhead belts out before turning his attention to the rest of the crew.
Okay, everybody, listen up. We are gonna get ready to throw down here in a bit. I want everybody here to get their hallucination stations turned on and ready. Got it? Got it!
They yell out in brain-dead unison. They all turn on their hallucination stations. A computerized screen flips into the line of sight, followed by a series of brief advertisements.
This hallucination station has been brought to you by Gapple Farcebook brand Edible Pussy Projections. Surf the net and go down on your girlfriend, boyfriend, genderqueer, trans man.
The computerized voice goes on an endless stream of non-binary gender pronouns. Ugh, do we have to sit for this shit every single time? One cop asks.
Yeah, I don't mind it personally. Repetition is key to making sure we never offend anyone ever again. Unless, of course, you are one of the government-mandated dissidents. Like these protesters, for instance. I can't wait to smash their fucking skulls in.
Another cop chimes in. Eventually, the hallucination station comes to the main screen. It looks like the main screen of a 90s video game, like Mortal Kombat or something.
Hello, and welcome to the hallucination station. How can I help you today?
Deputy, Dogman, Kevin, Licorice.
What kind of monsters would you like to slay today?
The voice shouts out.
I wanna fight some monsters that look like kitty cats. Grrr, I hate kitty cats.
The Dogman says.
Good choice, Kevin Licorice. And what about you?
Franklin, Wilfon.
I wanna fight a bunch of ogres. Yeah, can't wait to smash open some ogre skulls.
The computer complies once again. In each of the cops' individual headsets, the computer proceeds to overlay the normal image of the peaceful protesters with digital images of their individual monsters of choosing, ranging from ogres to cats to clones of their fathers if they had daddy issues, and beyond. Meanwhile, Jameson and Mook load up in their projection suits. The suits look like invisible silvery plastic bags that pull over their normal clothes, and it can adjust to any body type. Siri suit, please turn me into a composite person similar to this image, Jameson says, before loading up a snapshot of one of the protesters he took a little bit earlier. In a matter of minutes, he is turned into a slovenly looking hippie with a long beard and Oakley sunglasses. Mook, on the other hand, turns into a Will Smith looking black guy. Jameson looks over at him and starts laughing.
Yeah, I borrowed the Siri suit this weekend. This bi couple I was fucking likes to pretend I'm Will Smith, and they're aliens I've captured, and I'm interrogating them with my big dick. It's this whole thing, man,
Mook says.
Anyway, never mind all that. Let's go!
And with that, Mook and Jameson infiltrate the protests. Now looking completely unlike themselves, they conveniently walk among the protesters. They look over at a minstrel who has joined the protest.
And now, guys, I'd like to play a song called Somewhere Through the Fog. It's by this old outsider artist type guy named Zylan Roberts. I think he lives underground or off-grid or something off in Portugal or Netherlands or something now. Anyway, let me load something up. Boop, boop, boop.
The musician blinks both his eyes, simultaneously causing some sort of digital ziver to pop out in front of him with a cartoonish zoop.
This is a pretty tight app, guys. I think it's called the Ziver Zaver or something like that. Anyway, here it goes. Somewhere in the fog.
All the protesters cheer and clap.
Not really my scene. I prefer post-mumble rap polka fusion myself.
Mook grumbles out. Mook and Jameson spot an older-looking gentleman with a sign that says, "We don't want fake wind to set our sails. We don't want to get poisoned by your chemtrails." Jameson tries to start a conversation with the guy. "So what's all this protest about, man? I was just out in my apartment complex, smoking a doobie, talking about fighting the man on some chat rooms, when I heard about it. What's it all about, dude?" The protester chimes in. "It's about chemtrails and weather weapons. This building right here, the Rothschild Corporation's NYC branch, they were responsible for some of the most evil shit in the world. 5G, chemtrails, vaccine poisons, you name it. Poison is their business. But recently they started installing these mandatory ozone suckers on every street that essentially bring these fucking chemtrail poisons down to every man, woman, and child. As if it weren't bad enough, we have already seen an 80% increase in cancer and autoimmune diseases since the introduction of 5G 11 years ago. Every other person in the world right now has one or the other. But now they want to poison the remaining 20% of the populace with these chemtrail machines. Basically, anyone who isn't an elite or one of their lackeys gets sick." "Oh, come on, man. Do you think that's really true? I ain't an elite or one of their lackeys, and I ain't Mook whispers to Jameson.
Jameson, did you forget to put in your detoxifier device? You can't leave home without that shit. That's why HQ gives us these things. So we don't have to breathe crap like the rest of these
The protester gives Mook a weird look. Mook redirects the conversation.
"Swinging guys. A bunch of swinging guys and girls down here at this protest, man. This protest is killer, dude. Fucking tight."
Jameson pats Mook on the back. "Tight save, man. I must have forgot it."
"Yeah, well, anyway, the area ain't toxic because of some crazy conspiracy theory about chemtrails and 5G and GMOs and all that. It's because of CO2 emissions and all those other
insert pseudonym for conspiracy theories
that Professor Pussycat Bitch and Yogamoto tells about on the nightly news."
The nightly news is top-down propagandist BS. All the major media are essentially paid shill mouthpieces for the elites. And what about all these storms that conveniently keep knocking out large portions of the world? They always hit third worlds and places where a lot of dissidents live. This eliminates a good portion of the world, thus making the world a bit smaller and easier to control. Plus, it's an excuse to start one of those lame, fake fundraisers, where all the money raised just goes into some billionaire's pockets. Why don't the cops and feds look into that shit? Straight up highway robbery right there. Probably because they all get kickbacks from those thefts.
"Yeah, damn pigs."
Mook uses his telekinetic device to communicate directly to Jameson.
"I've had just about enough of this dude and his theories. Quick, let's throw some glass bottles and rocks at the cops and get this shit started before his theories have any time to sink into your young, impressionable mind, Jameson. You're my pawn in crime, buddy, you're my partner in crime, buddy. Let's do it."
Okay, Mook. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Mook throws a rock and a bottle at the cops while Jameson throws a baseball through a shop window with a loud smash.
"Cat gif! Cat gif! Cat gif!"
screams Mook. All the riot cops' military-grade cyber suits light up simultaneously like the totalitarian police state versions of Christmas light decorations. One of the riot cops screams out, "Okay, you fucking protesters, you crossed the line. Now it's clobbering time." They all light up their lightsaber-looking batons at once. Charge! They race into the crowd, attacking innocent protesters with a tremendous and disgusting force. Defenseless old men and women get knocked to the ground, their faces punched in, broken arms and kneecaps blown out. One libertarian hipster guy and his girlfriend got their stomachs kicked in repeatedly to the point they had to get surgery to stop the internal bleeding. The dumbass dogman cop yells out, "Let that be a lesson for you dummies." In the midst of the beatdown, several of the protesters were thrown in the back of a paddy wagon and taken to the station for quote-unquote questioning. The moon sets in New York City. All the culture vultures come out of their apartments for the nightly prowlings. rounding up whatever remnants of pop culture can still be found, remixing them endlessly on their automatic thought-controlled DJ devices. Everyone's a DJ these days. The learning of actual instruments was lost a long time ago on most people, replaced by the ease and quickness of software apps. Patience is at an all-time low. Everyone sacrificed talent for remix software and samplers, healthy organic food for fast GMO garbage, slow but harmless Ethernet for 5G microwaves on every streetlight, vibrating their whole bodies and souls with the promise of cancer. Hard work for a monthly paycheck from the government, freedom for a riot cop on every doorstep, surveillance devices on every personal electronic. Hell, even the privacy of our own minds was up for sale. People gave that up too, cause
making music and controlling omelet perfecting machines with your mind is a hella trip when you're stoned off that government weed, man.
well, be that as it may, doesn't mean it's a good thing. Not to any sane, sensible individual, anyway. But there aren't a whole lot of those left in the world anymore, it seems. On one such moonlit and 5G lamplit NYC street, there lies the police station where Jameson and Mook are interrogating one of the suspects. Since he doesn't cooperate, they bring in that hip hepcat scientist, Professor Pussycat Bitch, to help them out. Scientist, LOL. More like a paid lackey for the powers that be. He couldn't analyze his way out of a paper bag full of dog shit, if you ask me. The pseudoscience hack pumps the protester full of some sort of substance, and then shows him a brainwashing, hypnotizing video. The video gets projected right into his skull, MK Ultra style, as his eyes tear up from the chemicals, his mind softly massaged by the seductive sarin gas ton-fuck of a demoness called Inculcation. A little badly drawn stick figure man in a top hat plops onto the screen behind a hypnotic swirling repetitive background.
Hi, I'm Tubby the Turd Burglar, the lovable scamp and star of such shows as Squirtin' with Turd and Washin' the Hog. There's been a lot of scary ideas being thrown around lately, coming out of the mouths of known terrorists and pedophiles. You don't like terrorists and pedophiles, do ya?
Suspect 2357789. This shit is fucking pathetic, the protester mutters to himself.
I didn't think so,
Tubby continues.
Well, guess what? It's been proven thanks to our quote-unquote science that people who believe the following nonsense are 200% more likely to join
Right wing, left wing, Christian, Muslim, Hindu, child molestation, domestic, possibly foreign, Santa Claus worshipping cults. Error 3.457, please consult manual. Mook starts banging on the projection device.
Ah, stupid fucking piece of shit. It was working fine earlier today. We had this free-willing libertarian hippie chick coming all going on about individual rights and stuff. Left the station looking like she had been struck by one of those paralyzing Haitian voodoo drugs. Yeah.
Mook bangs a bit more on the device. The protester starts shaking, his hands trembling. Why am I shaking like this? He inquires.
Don't worry, baby. That's just the drug coursing through your system, my ninja. It's just your body reacted to an agent of unknown origin. It's natural, baby. Certified quote-unquote organic.
Professor Pussycat Bitch says. The projection starts working again.
Ah, finally. Let the brainwashing continue,
says Mook. Tubby the Turd Burglar continues.
Anyway, science has proven that you are a certified evil bad man, scum of the earth. If you believe in things such as
God, organic food, having a family, that microwave radiation is dangerous, if you are against vaccinations, chemtrails, weather weapons, satanic cults, child sacrificing pedophile rings, if you believe that mumble rap is garbage music, capitalism, the concept of freedom, and many more.
Let's look at a few examples, why don't we? Take the theory of chemtrails, for instance. A lot of people are talking crazy talk about how our planet stopped being able to produce regular clouds a long time ago. and so we use cloud seeding technology to generate clouds and also control weather patterns to use as a weapon. Ha ha, it's absolutely preposterous. Take these supposed chemtrails, for instance. Those aren't chemtrails in the sky, dum-dum. That is just the government-mandated Hocaine you are using, causing you to hallucinate.
I don't take Hocaine.
You do now, baby. What do you think we just injected you with? Shit.
What? I absolutely protested this. And I thought Hocaine was made illegal 6 months ago.
It was, but if you look at the fine print of the bill passed, Section 75, Clause 90 states that police, FBI, CIA, military, and special projects are allowed to use it for interrogation purposes and for,
Mook takes some out of his jacket pocket and puts a little bit on his clenched fist hand, proceeding to snort a line.
other purposes. Yeah, that's good stuff.
Oh great, a fucking junkie cop. Our wonderfully hypocritical boys in blue in action, says the protester.
You son of a bitch!
Mook mutters out, before walking over to the protester and punching him once in the jaw.
I got 2 fists, baby. One for snorting and one for punching.
Ah, fuck! Thanks for that, dick. The protester spits some blood on the floor. Does your brain happen to be in one of those fists too? Or were you born without one, pig? Mook gets ready to punch him again before Professor Pussycat Bitch stops him. Hey, baby, don't sweat it. It's all gravy with a side order of molasses fries, peanut brittle. Shit, my ninja, shit, he says. Mook steps back and calms down.
You're lucky, punk. Real lucky. Good thing this stuff is coursing through my veins right now. Make me feel good.
The infomercial continues.
Anyway, you get the basic idea, don't you?
Mr. Patient 0005428911178.
Oh, my apologies. I did not mean to say Mr. I meant to say...
Mr. or Mrs. or Impster or non-binary, genderqueer, Minecraft, composite, intergalactic anomaly, or perhaps you identify as a goblin, or an empath demon, or a Mothman, or Fluke Man from that one X-Files episode, or perhaps as a witch, or a warlock, or a barber with holographic arms made out of hair. Whatever you identify with, we support you. Except, of course, if you are conservative, classical liberal, libertarian, or basically anything further right of socialist. Anyway, we hope this has been informative to you.
And remember, here at the Rothschild Corporation, you don't need a family, cause...
We are your family.
Goodbye and good luck.
The video stops. Alright, Mr. Blueberry. I hope you learned something from today's, Jameson says, but before he could continue, he's interrupted when a portal unexpectedly explodes open in the room, causing paperwork and objects to go flying everywhere. A paperweight flies off the desk and hits Pussycat Bitch in the head, knocking him unconscious. What the hell? Why is there a portal opening up in here? Mook, what the fuck is... A battle axe flies through the portal and hits Jameson square between the eyes, piercing his skull and killing him instantly. He falls to the ground and twitches for a few seconds before dying.
Jameson! What the fuck? Ah, shit! You were the best beta bitch, naive, manipulated, idiot tool partner that believed whatever bullshit we, his superiors, told him a guy could ever have. Ah, fuck! You will be missed, buddy.
Mook cries out.
Alright, motherfucker! Who the fuck is behind that portal? I don't care. I'm just gonna start shooting my gun wildly into it and hope for the best.
Mook fires wildly into the portal, but several of his shots ricochet off its sides and hit him, twice in the stomach and once in the shoulder. He collapses to the ground in a heap of pain, dropping his gun in the process. The commotion from the portal incident causes Mr. Blueberry to wake up from a sedated state as he grabs Mook's gun. Alright, you asshole spooks, I don't know what the fuck is going on here, but I'm gonna get the fuck out of here, he shouts. Wait! A voice shouts from the portal. What the? Mr. Blueberry exclaims. 2 people jump out of the portal and land in the office. One looks like a short, stocky platypus human hybrid with a cowboy hat, and the other an Indian mystic-looking guy.
Hello, Mr. Blueberry. My name is Sanjay, and this is my friend Duck-billed Hickok. We are here to rescue you. would you come with us, please?
Sanjay says to Mr. Blueberry. Well, that depends. You got any medical marijuana in there?
Yes, indeed I do. I got this Venusian purple kush shit straight from the caves of Venus. Fought a 50-eyed witch for it. This shit will get you hella fucked up. Oh, yes, sir.
Sanjay says. Sounds good to me. Let's go, exclaims Mr. Blueberry. Duck-billed Hickok grabs his axe, taking it out of Jameson's skull. Blood starts gushing everywhere.
Ah, shit. That shit ain't pretty. Damn. Sorry about that, bud.
Duck-billed Hickok says. Mook tries to get up to punch Bill, but he knocks him unconscious with his boot.
Stay down, Flatfoot. Let's get the fuck out of here, Sanjay.
Sanjay, Bill, and Mr. Blueberry jump into the portal. It closes abruptly with a sound like falling mountains. To be continued! This story will be continued in the next installment of the Samsara Junkyard Music Review Short Story Podcast, next weekend. Links below. Alright. Zon Roberts here. And this concludes this week's podcast, rather. Today's. So yeah, today was a bit of a storytelling episode. I'm going to be doing a lot more of these in the future, but it's on kind of a random basis. I think, so, as I explained there, this is sort of a crossover sort of thing. It's going to be concluded on my other podcast, Samsara Junkyard, which, for those of you who don't know, is where I do music reviews in the form of short stories. So I'm not sure what the album will be centered around next time, but this story will be concluded over there, and it's going to be hybridized with an album review. So if you think that's strange and don't know quite how I'll be pulling that off, well, you can go over to that fucking site, my Samsara Junkyard SoundCloud and YouTube, and probably by then a Spreaker site or a Buzzsprout site or something. I don't know. I haven't figured out exactly what podcast site I'm going with, but for certain the shit's going to be on SoundCloud and YouTube, maybe a BitChute here soon. But see, the thing about SoundCloud is that it appears they're not the best for like podcasts anymore. I don't know why. Just podcasts don't do very well on there. So they're great for music. Like my Zon Roberts music SoundCloud does pretty well on there. But it's not so great for like podcasts. So taking a hit off my cigarette. So, yeah, we'll see about that, but eventually it'll be on one of the podcast things, maybe Spreaker. Although I had a weird incident with that, which I'll talk about probably in another video, in which, like, after 24 hours of, I hadn't even, like, uploaded anything to Spreaker, and they deleted my site, and I was like, what the fuck? So I sent them an email, and I was totally expecting them just to, like, not write me back or to say something like, well, we found something offensive over on one of your other sites. So I thought they were going to pull like something like what Twitter did with like Sargon of Akkad, you know, when he called those like white supremacists like the N-word, you know, and not even on that site. It was like on Reddit or something, and Twitter deleted him for something that was being said on like Reddit. But I was totally expecting him to do that because I said I made two different versions of the last various Vortices, if you remember. The one on SoundCloud is slightly censored, where I said the N-word, kind of ironically, and I censored it out. But on the YouTube and BitChute versions, I left it in, and I think they found one of those, and some fucking SJW got like all fucking his panties in a wad. So he like decided to delete it preemptively. But guess what? This chick writes back and says like, oh, sorry, we don't know what happened. We will look into it. And they put the site back on. Like, it was the weirdest freaking thing. So I don't know if I'll be going with Spreaker. You know, I'm kind of getting some iffy feelings about them. So I might go with Buzzsprout or Libsyn or something. But whatever, I'll work it out here soon. But in the meantime, you can catch this latest episode and also the Samsara Junkyard on my SoundCloud. So this episode will be found on my SoundCloud, my Zion Roberts SoundCloud, and as well as my YouTube and BitChute. And next week's Samsara Junkyard podcast will be on the Samsara Junkyard SoundCloud and YouTube. And that's about all I got to say, except that, this is kind of how it's going to go. Like I said, it's all there in the name, man, like various vortices, so you never know what you're going to get from week to week. Like the first episode opened up with a little comedy sketch, and, opened up with a little comedy sketch, and then a discussion for like 30 minutes, and then like ended with a song. So, and this one's just like nothing but a story. And so who knows what next time will be. So, it's kind of a mixed bag, but it's always going to be good. So I'm going to start, I have some plans to bring in some interview type stuff too. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to bring in, for one episode, I plan on doing a targeted individuals centered episode. And I'm going to be bringing on some friends of mine who identify as targeted individuals, and also myself. So anyway, I got a lot of plans. It's just kind of a mixed bag. So, anyway, just stay tuned. All right. See you later, bitches!